You know, one of the things I have noticed just within recent years of watching things like anime is that animation specifically has most definitely leveled up. This is some of the best animation in this current age that we have seen in quite some time. If you look back in some of the just in the past, like the late 90s, early 2000s, animation was of course fucking beautiful, right? But there was a specific tone and style that definitely, I wouldn't say it was dated, but it was just a style for the time. And we've stepped into this new age, this new generation where CG is becoming more of a mastered craft, crazy ass camera work, cinematography, you get it, which is fucking great. I genuinely love this. But another thing that I have noticed is that the substance I feel that the animation is a part of, mainly the story of something, is is not really all that impressive. For me, I believe that animation should not be the main reason or only reason as to why something is considered quote-unquote unbelievably good or peak. I know for me that the story of something, whether that it is a movie, show, anime, should far exceed the animation. In other words, I believe that the content that we're indulging ourselves in should supersede in quality the animation. Take My Hero Academia, for example. The anime is often perceived as mid by a lot of different people, and I would actually disagree. I would argue that something like My Hero Academia is pretty damn good for a lot of reasons, and I would also say that the way they use their animation is very creative. Typically, let me just break it down for you. Typically in a battle between a hero and a villain, they will throw out a couple of moves against one another, which will ultimately lead to the villain saying something or showing something within their character that prompts the hero to resonate with what was said. All of this often leads to a big bang, a big clash, a big punch of some kind. And for a while, this was the formula. This was a very consistent formula that did not fail at all. It was actually pretty damn good. It was very effective. However, for the later seasons, this builds higher. In recent seasons, I would say starting in season 6 of My Hero, is the momentum is consistent. They do not take their foot off that damn gas. Every episode is just a building towards where we are currently in the final season of My Hero with Deku, and now, if you haven't seen the recent episode, Bakugo versus All For One and Shigaraki. But everything has been building up to this moment, and it has been fucking incredible. One of the things I was critical about My Hero before in the past was that they were not that, I guess they weren't really willing to take the risk to like kill off their characters and make some serious drastic decisions, but that was mainly coming from, I feel, a younger mindset that was just unsure as to what was taking place. Like, prime example, I initially believed that All Might should have died when he first fought All For One in the 3rd season of My Hero, but thinking about it now, I'm like, no. All Might most definitely needed to be here throughout this entire ride. I feel like his place and his position, his shift in position, I should say, from kind of being that savior, that super duper hero, to kind of come in and just, fuck shit up, to kind of being a guiding voice for everybody is such a beautiful shift, and it works very fucking well. And so in this final arc, or the final battle that's been taking place since, I would say, season 6, you've seen a variety of different heroes. They have been challenged with just like their own moral code and principles that they hold dear to themselves, with circumstances and specific villains. They are now questioning what their next play should be. They've even lost some battles. If you rewatch the 6th season of My Hero, they lost that battle against Shigaraki, bro. They lost it, and Deku had to go on this whole vigilante kind of tip to where he was making some decisions just to keep everybody around him safe, and they were trying to get him to understand that, hey, we're just as a part of this battle just as much as you. I just think the way they're doing their storytelling, not only on the hero side but for the villains as well, Twice, Toga, fucking Dabi, Shigaraki, fucking incredible. It's really fucking incredible in my opinion. Now, all of this is, from what I've just described to you, what I've just said, is the substance, right? It's the content, the care of the story, the care of the characters. And then, on top of this, and then it is the animation. The animation comes in and it sells the whole point with, again, that big bang, or just the structure of the battle. The animation, I feel, just adds to the overall moment, the clash, the whatever you want to fucking call it, the conflict. It just, like I said, it's more of like icing. Like, a great analogy I'll use is cake. My Hero's story, character development, redemption, character conflicts, everything that kind of goes into the story of My Hero is the base cake. And the animation is a delicious icing that you pair with the cake, and you take a bite of that, and it's just fucking good. It's good, it's soft, it's succulent, it's sweet, it's all kinds of flavors in your mouth. Pause. It's great, it's fantastic. And I think with something like My Hero, they just really accomplished this very well, in my opinion. And of course, some adverse examples I could kind of give to add some just some contrast to the point are things like maybe Dragon Ball Daima, who prides itself on fan service, nostalgia, and animation, or even, I would even dare say, Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer, of course, is a relatively simple story and a simple plot, but I would argue that it is very much carried by its animation. There's a lot of things that I don't necessarily love about it, things that kind of take place for the sake of taking place. You get random flashback power-ups without any sort of explanation whatsoever.
What the fuck was that?
Aside from the fact that this character that got the power-up had some sort of flashback or had something take place within their life that the audience has never seen whatsoever, and then they're able to do said thing to further the plot. I don't like stuff like that. Plot armor every so often is okay, only if only if it makes sense. But when it doesn't, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't suspend my belief that much. I would say that those are definitely some examples of what I mean when I say animation is very much carrying those two things, Daima, Demon Slayer, and there are issues, significant issues too, when it comes to their story. But that's it. That's all I have for now. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. And I know this is one of the longer videos, but I really kind of wanted to open up the floor to kind of have the conversation as to maybe what you think. If you think that something like Demon Slayer or something like Dragon Ball Daima, with their fairly simple plots, are still as effective and are not necessarily carried by their animation. And if you still think something like My Hero is relatively mid, I would probably disagree, but it's like I said, it's just to open up the floor for the conversation. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys again for tuning in. If you like what you see here, please go down, like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate any and all support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.